Hi guys, hope you're having a great day. Hats available at iwillwander.com. In yet another entirely random development, I've ended up at a place called Idleback Lake Recreation Site, just up from Penticton, British Columbia. Red Betty, sassy is as sassy does. And this is an incredibly beautiful spot. Never been here before. There are adjoining forest service roads kind of just up that way, which I've gone through a few times, but I've never been to this spot. And I tell you, it's chilly now, as you can tell by the snow. They've had some snowfall at this elevation, but it's an absolutely incredibly beautiful area. And I'll show you what I'm enthused about. So it's called Idleback Lake. No idea why, but have a gander. I simply must get my fishing gear out of Red Betty and cast a few. No idea if there are even fish up here, in here, but we're gonna find out. And I might have a little fire. Look at the size of those trees. Wow. That's some big old growth. Yeah, I might have a little fire. And I noticed when I came in that there are some people left a little bit of garbage. So what I'll probably do is have a little fire as the sun starts to set a little more here. Jet goes by as soon as I start talking. Dead silent, I start talking, there's a jet. It's gonna be quiet again though. You can tell as soon as that jet runs its course, we're gonna get the silence again. And wow, what a spot. What an incredibly beautiful Canadiana, British Columbia mountain lake spot. Let's do a little fishing. There's a really gentle hiking trail that goes all the way around the lake, it looks like. Day started out a little bit gloomy and graceless today. It felt like, kind of feel like you're bumbling a little bit and bumping into things, and it just doesn't feel like things are flowing smoothly. It was one of those days happening for me today, but there's certainly been a shift in that regard. I popped into the Blends Cafe in Penticton and spoke with the lovely owner manager Ashley there, and she handed me some money, and I looking at her wondering what is she doing here. Then I remembered that she was gracious and kind enough to let me put some of my paintings, so-called, up on her wall for sale in her beautiful little cafe. That is a you can't see it, the workings of a beaver right there. And there's the result, the tree in the water. So I found out today, after kind of a rough start, that I sold my first painting ever today. $50, my share. Anyway, never happened to me before in my life. It's kind of a beautiful thing when you sell your first work of art like that. I've sold other things, you know, books, photograph, poster art, stuff like this, but I've never sold a painting before in my life. It's the first time I've ever done that. And it certainly changed the focus of the day quickly and radically. It became a great day. And then, another look at these trees, eh? Look at that. I end up at the Idleback Lake Rec Site completely randomly. So the day, so far anyway, has taken a radical shift to the positive. Now that the energy has shifted this way, let's carry on and see what else we can develop. It's incredible how a thing like that, finding out that I made a sale of a painting, can so radically change the course of my day, or at least the perception of the course of my day, because it really did. Things certainly felt much better after I made this little sale. Little meaning relatively little dollar amount, but certainly, I'm all tangled up here. Certainly not little in significance. It's a huge deal to me to have sold a bit of creative like that. It really is. And my day just got a whole lot brighter as a result of it. It's kind of incredible how it happens. There wasn't any, sometimes when you exercise, you get this really obvious positive effect, or other life circumstances that come into things, none of which were a part of things for me today. And yet here we are, living seemingly larger. Because of it. It's a neat aspect of life how that happens. Okay, enough philosophical. Let's catch something monstrous for dinner. And the only sound now is the sound of the wind, the winter wind, in those trees. And getting chilly. My hands are numb. All good though. While we've still got a bit of light, let's go for a little stroll. More of the water clarity, I always like to point out. And it is incredible. Don't even know if there's fish in this little lake. I'm assuming there is. And beachy start to things here. If you're here in the summer months when it's warm. Someone's started on a makeshift dock there, but didn't really continue. This is where you drive in over here and you get a quick glimpse of it. I will probably have a clip of that at the beginning of this, and then if you carry on here, you end up with the full lake. And I just came into the first spot that offered lake access. It carries on around and then back to the Forest Service Road over there, if you're in the area, just to kind of get your bearings. And as you can see, there is snow here already. And has the temperature ever dropped? It's chilly. Chilly, chilly, chilly. There's a bit of elevation to it. That's part of what's going on. I'm not acclimatized to the chillier temperatures. That's it for the fishing. Unless I see a fish jump, in which case I won't have a choice. I'll have to fish a little bit more. And dance like a wave of the sea. There is the possibly final visual of this beautiful little lake here. When I first moved to Kelowna, a few people told me that in the winter months it gets kind of forlorn because it's quite gray and cloud covered for most of the winter. And I thought, oh, well, that's silly. I'm not going to worry about that. But if you have a look there, it's true. That type of cloud cover goes on here for really extended periods of time. There's the dock we were fishing from in the winter months. And it can, I just want to have a look at this piece of wood. The weather that way with the cloudy overcast can affect you. You know, it can get you forlorn. It's a neat piece of wood there. Something to consider if you come back and visit this spot. The roads that get you to the side roads that get you here are set up as what they call Forest Service Roads, FSR, and they are pretty self-explanatory. The forestry industry has created these roads in conjunction with the province and sometimes with the First Nation territories to come back and access the resource, forestry lumber resource that they're extracting from the area. And there are active logging trucks on the roads. So I met a couple today coming here, and they're not expecting you, just like you're not expecting them. So if you come back here, be aware that it's possible, if not likely, that you're going to meet a logging truck with a really heavy load on the back of his truck. He wants to get by you, and he's working, and he's got no time for you. So stay out of his way, basically, because they get a little grumpy. I might make a fire right there, I think. Get rid of some of that garbage. Yeah, let's do that. As mentioned a couple times in the videos previous, I saw somewhere where these guys who are making a fire backcountry like I am now will apply Vaseline to cotton swabs or any form of paper or whatever they're using to start the fire, and it much more effectively helps ignite things because it stays lit for a while. I'm going to do the same thing today, and we're going to get a little something going there in a minute. The step I should have done before I did anything for fire prep was making sure I had a functioning lighter. For the smokers watching, this is not an issue because you guys know what I'm talking about. You know you have a functioning lighter at all times. But being a non-smoker, I just use them on the occasions when I'm having a fire like this. This area has been used as a rec site quite often for quite a while. So it's been picked very clean for usable wood, basically. I was able to find a bit, but we're certainly not going to be burning a major fire for very long here because there just isn't the wood to be had. I mean, I could go further out and scour the area, but I'm just not feeling that. This is just more for a little bit of fun after a little bit of fishing in this early winter version of I Will Wander with some snow on the ground and numbness to the hands back here. Didn't find any birch, but that's okay. We'll still get a little fire going here. Don't you worry. We'll have fire, baby. Looks like we're good already. All it takes. And as this gets going, I'm going to clean up this immediate area where some folks have left some of their contents from their previous visit. We'll leave the area with a little less of that than when we came in. That's the stuff right there, eh? Woo! It's getting chilly. I'd say it's about -3 here, Celsius. And it's my first sort of winter experience for the season. So you feel the chill. More than you might anyway. Got a little one going. Not gonna go for very long. And we'll head her out once it's out. Red Betty's gonna smell like smoke. It's all going towards her. But that's okay. It's a good smell. Wood smoke's a great smell. Down to the coals. I love this phase of it. There's a beauty to that I love. That's it for today from the Idleback Lake Rec Site, just up that way. As you can see, we've got snow at this spot, at this point. It's not plowed. I'm in a Yaris. It's getting dark. And this isn't incredibly remote. Idleback Lake, there we go. But it's far enough out that you don't want to be back there. You don't want to be turned around back there. It was silent for an hour and a half. I just started talking. Jet goes by. Incredible. So we're going up this way, and it'll eventually get us back to Penticton. And I never touch my camera or talking to the camera while I'm driving. So we're gonna pause this for a little while, and I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Incredible windstorm coming through. I haven't been down here in a long time. There's a historic boat all lit up right on the shore here. Penticton. I'm on my way home from where I just was there, and there's the motel alley about right there where I lived for a number of months. I don't know. But you draw positives out of everything, or try to. I got a screenplay out of that. It's actually really good. Speaking of that, before I put this one right to bed here, I lived in an area called Sawada in Japan for a while. Not an ideal experience in a fair number of ways, but I got a concept out of that while I was there that hopefully I'll end up developing, and it's one of the best ideas that I think I've ever had as far as potential goes. Like comic books, figurine characters. Think like Marvel, but not as generic annoying as Marvel has been lately. So I'm going to sign off on that really weird note. Thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, if you could just take a moment to like and subscribe, really appreciate it. I don't get blown over in the wind here. And just take one quick sec to give it a thumbs up. Appreciate that too. I'll see you on the next one.